Hi, my name's Evan, and today we're going to talk about voting in 2020. Go Voter PA. Power your vote. Answers for questions and help for issues on Election Day. This video was written and recorded by Self Advocates. It is a project of Self Advocates United as One for our Self-Advocacy Support and Empowerment Project, also known as SASE. It is supported by a grant from the Pennsylvania Developmental Disabilities Council, in part by grant number 1901 PASCDD-02 from the U.S. Administration for Community Living, Department of Health and Human Services, Washington, D.C. 20201. Grantees undertaking projects with government sponsorship are encouraged to express freely their findings and conclusions. Points of view or opinions do not, therefore, necessarily represent official ACL policy. Self Advocates United as One, or SAU1, is an independent nonprofit in Pennsylvania. Our mission is to support the self-advocacy of people with disabilities for positive impact in our communities and in people's lives. Here we have a picture from our staff and board meeting in the fall of 2018. SAU1 thanks Self-Advocates Becoming Empowered, also known as SABE, for its first work on this information, and for funding SAU1 to work with Disability Rights PA for helping people understand all about voting in Pennsylvania. All of the information in this video reflects what we knew at the date of recording. SAU1 advises you to check for updates around voting laws and issues. Use your power to check out and share the rest of our Go Voter PA videos. We'll discuss voting rights, why your vote is important, voter registration, how to check it and do it, power your vote, learn about who and what you may be voting for, use your power, help build a voting community, power your vote in place, mail-in and absentee ballots, and power your vote in person, polling places and your rights. And finally, power your vote, answers for questions or help with issues. Also check out and share pa-votes.org/SAU. A clear, easy-to-use website where you can find out if you are registered to vote, update your registration if it's incorrect, register to vote if you haven't already, request a mail-in or absentee ballot, and sign up for an election reminder. PA Votes works to get more people to use their right to vote. All of your information is kept private. The pavotes.org/SAU link is funded by a grant from PA Votes and the Housing Alliance of Pennsylvania. Now let's take a look at the webpage. Here we have a screenshot of the pavotes.org website, where you can register to vote, request a mail-in ballot, or get an election reminder. SAU1 believes that knowledge is power. When we learn new things, we're powerful. Now let's talk about what to do if you have questions or issues on Election Day. Vote as if your life depends on it, because it does. Justin Dart, lifelong self-advocate, thought of as the father of the Americans with Disabilities Act, said these words often. In this picture, Justin is the person wearing a hat, while President George H.W. Bush signs the ADA. Also in the picture are Evan Kemp, Chairman of the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, seated, and standing behind him is Minister Harold Wilk. Also standing is an unidentified person. People and their families changed their communities, schools, and lives. How did they do that? They spoke up. When we speak up together, we have a powerful voice. Speak up about your rights on Election Day. The Help America Vote Act, also known as HAVA, is a federal law which says that states must make sure that everyone can vote privately and independently. States must also have a way to give people provisional ballots if there is a question about whether they can vote. We'll talk more about that in our Power Your Vote in-person video. States must have a list on computer of all the voters in the state, and states must make sure polling places, which is where people go to vote, are accessible. Like many laws, not everyone or every place follows HAVA laws. Learn in our Power Your Vote video what to do if you feel these laws are not being followed at your polling place. If things go wrong on Election Day, speak up about your rights with the poll workers at the polling place. If the poll workers don't fix it, ask to speak to the judge of elections. Sometimes one of these is all you will need to do to fix something that went wrong. If these don't work, call one of the numbers below right away for voting help that day. We will show them again. You can call your county election office, Disability Rights PA Election Day Hotline at 717-839-5227. You can also call the PA American Civil Liberties Union at 866-687-8683. And PA Votes, 877-868-3772. Or Keystone Votes at 866-687-8683. Call if any of these things happen to you on Election Day. If you need and can't find an accessible parking spot, you need an accessible path to and through the entrance, but there isn't one. You want to use an accessible voting booth, and there isn't one. If you are asked to show ID, even though you have voted at this polling place before. If you are told you cannot bring someone to assist you to vote, or you ask for assistance to vote and the poll workers won't help you. Call if any of these things happen to you on Election Day. The way you have to vote is not private. You cannot get voting information in the way that you need it, such as Braille or audio, etc. If the poll workers make you feel uncomfortable or like you are a burden, or if the poll workers don't understand your speech and won't let a person you bring to support you help, or let you use a communication device, or the poll workers ask where your assistant or guardian is. Use this checklist to make sure you have the right to vote. Your voter responsibilities are to register to vote by the deadline, which is October 19th, and check that your registration card is correct, or update your voter registration if you have a change in address, name, or political party. It is your responsibility to have your ID if you are voting for the first time at your polling place, if you have not applied for a mail-in or absentee ballot, and knowing where your polling place is. Poll workers have the right to not allow you to vote if you have not met your voter responsibilities. You believe you have done all of your voter responsibilities, and the poll worker still says you cannot vote. Ask the poll worker why they think you cannot vote. If it is because you may have not done one of your voter responsibilities, there is nothing you can do on election day. Make sure you fix the issues before the next election. If it's another reason, ask to speak to the judge of elections. Sometimes, this is all you will need to do to fix something that went wrong. If these don't work, call one of the voting help phone numbers that day right away. If you still have problems on election day, ask for a provisional ballot. A provisional ballot is a paper ballot for voters when poll workers think the person cannot vote. Ask the poll worker how the provisional ballot will be counted. The county election office will decide if the vote is valid and send the voter a letter telling them if their vote was counted or not and why. Here again are the numbers to call. Disability Rights PA Election Day Hotline at 717-839-5227. PA American Civil Liberties Union at 866-687-8683. PA Votes at 877-868-3772. And Keystone Votes at 866-687-8683. Want a hand registering or applying for a mail-in ballot or to sign up for an election reminder? Rita at SAU1 can help. There are two ways to get a hand from SAU1. You can call us at 724-588-2378. Leave a message with your phone number, and Rita from our staff will contact you to fill out your application online with your permission. You can also email Rita at sau1.org, and she will contact you to set up a time to call you and fill out your application online with your permission. Again, that's RITA at sau1.org. Rita's help is funded through a grant from PA Votes and the Housing Alliance of Pennsylvania. Now you know what to do if you have questions or issues on Election Day. Who might you share your power with and tell them about our Go Voter PA videos? You can tell your family, friends, coworkers, any groups or clubs you might be a part of, people in your faith communities, or anyone. Remember, knowledge is power. So use your power to check out and share all of our Go Voter PA videos. We'll discuss voting rights, your vote is important, and voter registration. Check it or do it. Power your vote. Learn about who and what you may be voting for. And use your power. Help build a voting community. Power your vote in place. Mail-in and absentee ballots. Power your vote in person. Polling places and your rights. And lastly, power your vote. Answers for questions or help with issues. SAU1 thanks the thousands of self-advocates and families in the past who paved the way for self-advocacy, and the PADDC for funding this information and video, and PA Votes and the Pennsylvania Housing Alliance for funding our help to get folks registered and voting. And thank you. Remember, knowledge is power. Use it to make your vote count. You can contact us at Self Advocates United as One Incorporated at SAU1 428 South Main Street, Suite 3, Greenville, Pennsylvania 16125. You can call us at 724-588-2378 or email us info@sau1.org. You could check out our website at www.sau1.org. Like us on Facebook. You can search for us at SAU1PA or follow us on Twitter at SpeakUpSAU1.